Hi, I'm Glenn Smith, the Growth Coach in Houston, Texas. I help executives and business owners improve their businesses and their lives. One of the big issues we deal with as business owners is the whole people management issue. How do we manage performance and how do we build high-performing teams? And the key to that is to have a strategic HR system. And so what I want to do is to show you the 10 components in a strategic HR system. First, in your HR system, you want to have a hiring process. You want to have a way to generate good leads for good talent. You want to have an interviewing process and a way to screen those candidates. And then you want to have a way to actually bring those candidates into your organization, which leads to the second component, which is the onboarding process. Typically, this is a 30 to 90-day process where you not only give people the basic information and tools they need to do their job, but you also give them some basic training and you also assimilate them into the culture and into the team. And then the third component is the performance management process. This has to do with your review process and managing the outcomes that you want within your team. I recommend that you do this quarterly. But for most people, the performance management review is such a laborious task that they hate doing it annually, and just to think about doing it quarterly is just like 4 times the trouble. So we have a simple way that we do this that gets great results. And then the fourth component is the coaching and correction process. How do you coach your team and how do you help them make improvements in those critical areas? And then the fifth component is the ongoing training process. And you want to provide ongoing training in the area of your systems, in culture, in the area of leadership, and maybe in your industry, safety as well. And then the sixth component is the conflict resolution process. How do you deal with it when team members get crossways and they have conflict with one another? Well, you have a conflict resolution process. Number 7 is a severance process. Sometimes we have to let people go. How do you do that? Sometimes people choose to leave our organization to go someplace else. How do you respond to that and how do you process that? Unfortunately, sometimes we lose people through death or disability. And how do you deal with that? So you want to have these scenarios played out in your mind and have steps to follow when a severance occurs. The 8th area is compensation and rewards. How do you compensate your folks? How do you do it equitably? And I like to recommend a variable compensation approach so people are rewarded for their outcomes. And then ninthly is the compliance satisfaction process. And that begins with a good employee handbook. Do you post the proper postings in terms of the labor laws that are required? And then number 10 is your documentation process, keeping track of all the documentation that you need to for your team. These are the 10 components of a strategic HR system, and I hope you'll build one and build a dynamic team. Thanks for watching.